Welcome to this little watch. This is a little bit different. I need to catch some people up because I'm noticing that there are some terms that they do not understand, and I want everybody to be able to run together. Now, I'm actually going to skip forward because we're talking here about cryptocurrencies. I was going to start at the very basics. What's a cryptocurrency? I will go back to that, but I really feel I want to catch you up on crypto mining because this is what's taking place. We're going to see what's happening in El Salvador. We're going to try to understand a little bit more about what is taking place and why certain things are important that are happening in the world right now. So we're going to just take a break here and I will be right back. Okay, let's get started. So, what exactly is crypto mining? Well, let's look at Bitcoin mining. I think that will give us more of a clarity because we all know that Bitcoin is the number one currency. Many people became very wealthy from Bitcoin. Bitcoin was an original cryptocurrency. Really, not many people understood it or knew what it was. But one of the things I'm finding is that people are a little confused about what Bitcoin mining is. First of all, I just want to say Bitcoin is a digital currency, which means there is no physical paper or gold or actual coin that exists that has value. It's all digital. I think you have to understand that because a lot of people think that people are going into mountains and mining Bitcoin like they would mine gold or iron or coal or whatever. And, we need to understand what this process is all about because it does affect what is happening throughout the world. So let's just do some of the basics. Knowledge is power, people. It is important for me to give you the knowledge so you can clearly see what is happening in our world and how the powers of this world, the dominating powers, are lining up and the power that is behind not only Bitcoin, but a blockchain network. Okay, so first, what is Bitcoin mining? I'm going to read the points to you. Bitcoin mining is a complex computational and technological process of validating the Bitcoin transactions over the Bitcoin network, which is called a blockchain. You can say, oh my gosh, I have no idea what that means. Well, basically, it's a computer algorithm. It's a computer digital process. It's technology, people. It is a process of validating a block on the chain network, which is a transaction, to maintain the integrity of the blockchain and then get paid in Bitcoin. So this is what miners do. They have a process. Mining is very expensive. They have a process of validating the blockchain, a block on the blockchain, which is a transaction, to maintain the integrity of that blockchain. And then they get paid in Bitcoin for validating the Bitcoin blockchain. Okay, but why do people do this? Well, this is incredible. People who are involved in this process of mining are called miners. And so we see people who desire to be miners. Owning a little bit of Bitcoin or a lot of Bitcoin does not make you a miner. It makes you an owner of digital Bitcoin. Okay, so we're gonna go to the next page. So why do people mine Bitcoin? They can mine. It's not just Bitcoin. You can mine any cryptocurrency. I'm focusing on Bitcoin because I want to talk about El Salvador and their Bitcoin mining. So these miners, they use powerful computers to solve complex mathematical puzzles known as proof of work, or POW, to validate transactions and add them to the blockchain. So these people are computer technology experts. They're IT experts. And they use computers, like massive computers, not the little one laptop that you sit on your desk, or your phone, which is really a computer. If you have an updated phone, it's a computer. That's not what they use. They use massive computers. And that's why we always talk about the electricity, the problems that are caused by using massive amounts of electricity to run these computers, and how expensive it is, and how miners are located in certain countries because those countries have access to large amounts of energy, of electricity. And what happens, though, is, there is a breakdown. It does affect the country. It is a very expensive, very, very expensive process. But these miners do get rewarded, because when they mine Bitcoin, they receive Bitcoin. Now, in return, miners receive newly minted BTC, which is Bitcoin. BTC is the acronym for Bitcoin, as a reward for their work. So there is a prize in it. There is wealth in it to mine, because they get newly minted Bitcoin as a reward for their work. And of course, they put up massive amounts of money in order to mine the Bitcoin. So, it's kind of like they're getting paid, but they call it a reward. Now, El Salvador has Bitcoin mining in El Salvador. But before we go to El Salvador, I'm going to shut this down, and I want to show you something. Oops, sorry. I'm going to end this show. We're going to come back to it. Sorry about this, guys. But I want to show you this article, and of course, the link is going to be provided for you. I want to say to you first, knowledge is power. And I know sometimes on a show, or when we're talking, and when Benny was talking, or I'm going to be talking, there are terms that I'm going to use, other people are going to use, that you're not going to understand. I want to challenge you. When you hear a term, I'm going to challenge you to research it a little bit. It's not really hard. Like you can type into the Google search, what is Bitcoin marketing? What is Bitcoin mining? Now, Forbes, which is a reliable magazine, has an article on this, and I'm going to just read you part of it, because I want you to get clear what mining is. So let's start reading right at the top. Bitcoin, I'm going to just maximize this. There you go. Bitcoin mining is a complex computational and technological process of validating the Bitcoin transactions over the Bitcoin network. We've already talked about that. It is like a process of validating a block on the chain network and getting paid in Bitcoin. Now, what is a Bitcoin network? It is on a blockchain. Every cryptocurrency, every mem coin, every token has to go on the blockchain. A blockchain is not an internet, but it's similar. It is faster, it is more accurate, and it is private. But we're going to talk about that another time. People who are involved in the process of mining are called miners. The reason why it is called mining is because it is just like any other form of natural resources. There is a finite number of Bitcoins available. In other words, there's a maximum amount. The maximum amount of Bitcoin that can be created or mined is 21 million. So there's only allowed to mine or get rewarded up to 21 million Bitcoins. Just like real mining, in Bitcoin mining, one needs to invest energy in order to generate or create Bitcoins. The energy is in the form of what? Electrical energy, electricity. So it's not people going into a mountain and with a pick and a shovel or dynamite and blasting out Bitcoins that are hidden in the rock. No, it is all digital. What is digital? It means it's in the computer. It's something that you can't see. It's not tangible to the touch. It's all inside the computer. It's all digital, called algorithms. Now, the miners compete against each other to, so the miners compete against each other to solve complex hash puzzles, which are encoded cryptographically, to verify the blocks containing transactions. So there's a competition. Obviously, just like finding gold or finding silver, there's a competition. Where is it? How does it done? Are we doing it right? Can we make it faster? Can we make it more productive? Can we, mine more? Confirm more of this process so that we can get paid newly minted Bitcoins. Now listen, in this race of guessing, whosoever becomes the first miner to guess, this is incredible, people, listen, to guess the number gets a chance to update the ledger of transactions on the Bitcoin blockchain network and receives a reward of newly minted Bitcoin. So what are they doing? It is all about algorithms. It's about numbers. It's about digital data, whatever you want to pronounce it. So don't get overwhelmed of it. You do banking. You have your banking online. You go, you see what's in your account. You never actually see your physical money. You just see a figure, and you know that those, that 1240 is in your account. $1,240. I'm hoping it's in your account. Is in your account, and how do you know its value? Because you have learned what that $1,240 will buy or will pay according to bills. So you might say in your head, because you've been taught this and you've learned this, which is almost like an algorithm, you've learned that $1,240 will pay your rent, because that number is the number you have to give to your landlord or to your mortgage or whatever it might be. So don't be overwhelmed, people. We're constantly in a digital world. We're already living in that digital world. It's just that the terms are new. That is why I want you to understand the terms, so you won't be overwhelmed by the terms. So it is to be noted that this guessing of specific numbers, and that can be very long numbers, it's not like number 223, it can be very, very long, is all done by a computer, a very big computer. So the more powerful a computer one has, the more guesses a miner can make per second, and thus it increases their chance of winning the race. What is the race? To get newly minted Bitcoin. There's a lot of wealth in Bitcoin mining, but the problem that they have is electricity. It takes massive amounts of electricity from an area. That's why mining is only done in certain areas of the world, not because it's in a mountain. No, because that area has to be able to sustain the electricity in a solid stream of electricity in order to keep those computers running. So, why Bitcoin mining is primarily done for these reasons: to bring new coins into circulation and validate ongoing transactions. Here's another one: to check counterfeiting and double spend. And we're not going to go in there, but it keeps the blockchain legitimate. And to maintain the ledger in a decentralized manner. All Bitcoins are decentralized, which means we don't need a government or a bank or a central bank. It is a private, secure way of transferring money. So when we say we own Bitcoin, you may not own one Bitcoin, because one digital Bitcoin is worth a lot of money. Would you want to look it up? Let's go here. Coin market cap. There we go. And we're going to open this up, and I'm going to tell you exactly right now, one Bitcoin is worth $26,097.77. Now that can change even as I'm watching this screen. So you can see it's been changing all day. For the last 7 days, it's been going actually down. Tether USDT has been going up. It's in the green. So we're seeing, you can see the activity. See, it just changed there. Look at that. 26,100, 26,101. It changes every second. Why? Because the price is affected by the buys and sells of people on the Bitcoin blockchain. Now, hopefully you understand what I'm saying. If you don't, you need to listen to this several times. And I would also ask you to research a little bit more. It won't take you long, people. You'd be surprised what you can learn in a half an hour of your own time. And you can split that up into two. It is for your education. It is for your future. Now here we see the market cap. In another video, I'm going to explain what a market cap is and why it is so important for you to understand the market cap. It is very important, but I'm not going to touch that right now. It'll help you, okay? So I'm going to close this, and I'm going to go back to our, let me just open it up here, to our PowerPoint, and we're going to go right here. And this video is a short video. I believe it's 6 minutes. I'm going to play it. We're going to listen to it, because this is how El Salvador is mining Bitcoins with volcano energy. And if you ever wondered why Benny was so excited, he went down to El Salvador. He met with some strategic people. I can't say who they were, but there's some strategic people, including Bukele, and about mining Bitcoins in El Salvador. And there's a reason why it is so valuable in El Salvador, because El Salvador has created a new type of energy or electricity that is cheapest in the world, that is cheap and easy and clean, and it's called volcano energy or volcano electricity, whatever you want to call it. Get it. Get the point. So let's listen to this, and then I'll discuss it a little later.
Cryptocurrency is quite literally blowing up in Latin America right now. Why? Because of a visionary new scheme in El Salvador to mine Bitcoin using energy drawn from an active volcano. Could this bold initiative solve the nation's chronic poverty and silence crypto's pesky environmentalist critics? Join us today as we scale the caldera and look into how El Salvador is mining Bitcoin with volcanoes. Earlier this month, El Salvadorian President Nayib Bukele tweeted a short video clip unveiling his country's glossy new geothermal electricity plant. The brief clip also showed engineers receiving a delivery of shipping containers full of Bitcoin mining rigs and technicians busily installing application-specific integrated circuits, or ASICs. "We're still testing and installing," read the presidential tweet. But this is officially the first Bitcoin mining from the volcano. So what's actually going on? Back in June, the El Salvadorian parliament passed a law declaring Bitcoin legal tender in the small Central American nation. The country's other official currency is presently the US dollar. The plan hopes to help El Salvador ride an international wave of fascination with cryptocurrencies and ultimately drive much-needed investment into a nation where 70% of the population lack basic access to traditional financial services. That means banks. As well as adopting Bitcoin as formal legal tender, Bukele's government also sets out plans to provide the necessary training and mechanisms for Salvadorans to access and engage with transactions involving Bitcoin. And in case anybody was wondering what tiny El Salvador has to offer the world as a futuristic crypto hub, President Bukele offered this tantalizing hint to accompany his June announcement. "I've just instructed the president of @LeGeoSV, our state-owned geothermal electric company, to put up a plan to offer facilities for Bitcoin mining with very cheap, 100% clean, 100% renewable, zero-emissions energy from our volcanoes. This is going to evolve fast," he added. As if to underline his commitment to the crypto cause, Bukele also changed his Twitter avatar to a doctored photo of himself with laser blue eyes, a popular meme among Bitcoin fanatics. So what's at stake here? Cryptocurrencies currently have a dreadful reputation among environmentally conscious consumers, who argue the carbon footprint of crypto mining is unacceptably high. Bitcoin's energy consumption is related to its hash rate, or the speed at which mining computers can solve mathematical problems to unlock the next tranche of coins. Bitcoin mining is said to burn through some 129 terawatt-hours of juice a year. Google's entire net energy usage, by contrast, is a mere 12.4 terawatt-hours. Over the past 2 years alone, Bitcoin mining has added 40 million tons of CO2 to the atmosphere, or the equivalent of an additional 8.9 million cars suddenly driving on the road. Bitcoin is already a bigger emitter than American airlines, and is fast catching up with the entire US government's carbon footprint. El Salvador's argument is that volcanic energy is essentially free. It doesn't require the burning of dirty fossil fuels. And thanks to El Salvador's geographic location, perched on the rim of the so-called Pacific Ring of Fire, there's no shortage of volcanoes. In fact, there's at least 20 active volcanoes within its borders, and they already supply about a fifth of the country's traditional energy requirements. To be clear, the volcano itself won't directly power the mining operation. Instead, heat from its scalding molten core will be harnessed to boil water, which will in turn generate steam that drives turbines. El Salvador's progressive approach to Bitcoin has already run into teething problems. On September the 6th, just one day before it legally adopted the world's most popular cryptocurrency, El Salvador's central bank splashed out on 400 Bitcoin worth about $21 million. The following day, after the policy was formally rolled out, the price of Bitcoin plummeted to its lowest level in nearly a month, from around $52,000 to a little under $43,000. Still, according to the country's shiny new Bitcoin laws, businesses have to accept Bitcoin when and where the technology is available. Citizens aren't compelled to use Bitcoin if they don't fancy it, but they are incentivized to do so by the government. There's already a state-backed wallet called Chivo, and any citizen who downloads Chivo onto their smartphone is instantly rewarded with $30 value in Bitcoin. Salvadorans have proudly shared images on Twitter of these crypto windfalls since using the wallet, and President Bukele has already declared the scheme a success. 2.1 million Salvadorans are actively using Chivo wallet, not downloads, he tweeted. Chivo is not a bank, but in less than 3 weeks, it now has more users than any bank in El Salvador Salvador and is moving fast to have more users than all banks in El Salvador combined. This is wild. However, the World Bank and the IMF have both expressed skepticism at the rollout, arguing that environmental concerns surrounding Bitcoin remain valid for the time being, and that cryptocurrencies are still too volatile for nation-states to bet their solvency on them. Doubtful Salvadorans took to social media to suggest that high levels of illiteracy in their nation make its population ripe for online scammers, and that the country just isn't ready to make such a complicated leap into the financial unknown. Moreover, internet access is spotty, with only a small minority enjoying access to up-to-date devices and fast connections. Still, it's not all doom and gloom. Tech firm Athena Bitcoin has publicly committed to investing $1 million installing as many as 1,500 cryptocurrency ATMs across El Salvador. These ATMs would enable citizens to exchange Bitcoin for US dollars and vice versa. President Bukele's manner of rolling out these controversial proposals has been criticized as dictatorial, which inspired him, in a Trumpian flourish, to change his Twitter bio to El Dictador Más Cool del Mundo Mundial Earth Globe Americas. In English, that's the coolest dictator in the world, Earth Globe Americas. The notion of using volcanoes to mine Bitcoin isn't even all that far-fetched. Iceland already has a proven track record for harnessing geothermal power for its extensive crypto mining activities. The proof of El Salvador's volcanic success will all come down to the efficiency of its miners, and whether or not they can offer investors a competitive ash rate. What do you think? Will El Salvador's scheme pave the way for a cleaner, greener crypto future?
So now you see it. Now, hopefully, you understand a little bit better about what is taking place in the Bitcoin mining world. It is important to know this. As you can see, Iceland has the same. We're seeing, which Benny mentioned to us, that El Salvador, which is that small country where we're surprised to see that prosperity come out of a very small place. We are seeing that. We're seeing that they are setting a world trend for not only Bitcoin mining and not only cryptocurrencies, but for integrating cryptocurrencies into their public market. So people, be educated. Do not be afraid. You know, one of the things I'm finding in, you call it dinar land, I call it YouTube land, whatever you want to call it. There is a lot of fear-mongering about cryptocurrencies, about, the change of digital currency, etc. There is always resistance. In that film, we see that the IMF is resisting because, of course, cryptocurrency has the not only the technology, but the availability to take over and dominate over paper currency. Now, this doesn't happen in a day. We've been watching cryptocurrency for years. Benny and I talked about it many times. One time Benny came to me and he said to me, Carin, I feel that, the prosperity part of the wealth transfer is through cryptocurrency. And I said, Ben, I believe yes. And he stated this live on air in one of our shows. I said to him, Ben, yes, I truly 100% agree. But I also agree that it has been happening. The wealth transfer has already been happening through cryptocurrency. And we see that many billionaires and millionaires have been made, not only in Bitcoin, but in other cryptocurrencies over the years. I said we're late in coming in, but we're not late and we're not missing the boat. That's why we keep up with cryptocurrencies. We pray, we listen to the prophetic. There's a lot of prophetic words that can get very confusing, but I feel that knowledge is key. Knowledge is key so that you can see what is taking place. You can see in the video the massive amounts of computers that are needed, and of course the activists, the nature activists, the air activists, whatever they're called, sorry. They are, coming after the mining. They're, it's just crazy. But I believe El Salvador has found something, and it's clean energy. It's clean energy. Of course, you can see they use the heat from the volcanoes with water, and the price is low, and it makes crypto mining a viable and real stable possibility. So that's my little bit on cryptocurrency mining, specifically Bitcoin mining. I hope you enjoyed this. Please listen to it as many times as you need in order to gain the knowledge that you need to see what is happening in the world, what is the resistance, why is the resistance to cryptocurrency, to crypto mining, and let's see how the world is shifting and shaking as we watch together.